Hello, hello. I'm Ariel,
And I'm Ryan.
and welcome to Real
Real
Talk
Talk
with
with
Ryiel.
Ryiel.
And so, what inspired us to do this, baby?
So I think for us, I think just throughout the years, a lot of people have been asking us different series of questions just when it comes to our relationship and how we've been able to, navigate the challenges, keep things spiced up while, still having fun and while we're each growing in our own ways, how we continue to grow together. So we wanted to come up with Real Talk with Rael as a, first of all, fun, transparent, and also easy way to like create a platform and a community where people can come learn and grow from our experiences and hopefully apply it to their own life and get some inspiration to help them navigate their challenges, whether they're in a relationship or it's career related, personal related, health related. I think we've had a good amount of people just come up to us throughout the years on both our own personal journey and also together.
No, for
So
sure.
now we're just taking action and where we've been putting in the work and just having fun with it and honestly flowing. I think that's the biggest thing is like, this isn't scripted. We don't have like a script or we have to wear specific clothing. It's just like, let's have fun. Let's be our authentic selves as we have
Our new fur
Madam Melly
babies.
and Sir Nalu here as well. I'm not sure if you can see Nalu. He's a little blended in. But really, guys, this is what we wanted to show is the authenticity. So that's what we wanted to bring. And hopefully you all are able to see the value that comes out of it. And please
Yeah,
let us know if you do see value.
absolutely. So, we're definitely going to be answering questions from people who ask us or questions we've gotten before. We're going to keep it very unfiltered, very authentic,
Yeah.
transparent. And
Oh, yeah.
something I think that also inspired this, we were like, we just have pretty deep conversations sometimes too while we're like chilling in the pool or like
Driving,
driving
hiking,
to the groceries or something like,
walking.
yeah,
Yeah.
something super simple. And we're saying like, I think this could be very insightful for some people,
Yeah.
and why not?
Yeah. And again, like it's supposed to be fun. And, that's why we're doing this because, both of us are
Oh, sorry.
on our own versions of transitioning. I recently made a career change a few months ago. I know Ariel is in the midst of a very big transition,
Well,
and
I already made a career change.
you
I
already
don't want
did,
to
yeah.
say it's a big transition.
Yeah, well, still, it is a transition. I mean, it's been pretty big. It's
Yeah,
been life changing
but
for
I think
you.
I've already transitioned, so I don't
Yeah.
think it's a in the
So
midst of it.
actually,
I don't think I'm in the
actually,
midst of
yeah,
it
going
anymore.
going back actually today. I'm not sure if you want to share with everyone. Uh,
That'll be more on my personal
okay,
page.
so I'm
So,
gonna
and
let
this
her
is this
address
is
that
like
there.
our like
Yes.
real talk with Ryiel. So,
So that I'll let you address
well,
that on your
yeah,
personal
we
stuff.
could talk about that
But
another time. Like, it's not just about me. We could like hop right into
the
the
question.
question that we get very often. Well, actually, first let's clarify this because I'm not sure how much everyone knows about us. So, uh, we'll do a brief, quick kind of overview of how we met, where we met, how long we've been together, because that could be a whole nother podcast episode or a series episode for
Which we
another
probably
time.
will
We
do.
definitely will do over time, but we'll kind of just like go with the flow for now.
He's so funny.
Are you gonna bother your sister?
Oh, I think he wants to cuddle with her.
Okay, okay. As long as you don't
Yeah,
bother
he just wants to do
her.
the cuddles.
Okay. And she's
Oh,
like, I don't know about this, right, Melly? All right.
yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
so we've been together for 8 years. We're
Eight
going on
years.
9 next year.
9 in March 25th of 2026 will
Not
be
that
9 years.
far. Yeah,
No, it's not
it's
that far at
crazy.
all.
It's crazy. And before anyone asks a question about this thing,
It's gonna be coming soon. So yes.
we'll
Thank you.
see.
Thank you for all the pressure. I don't feel any
Oh
pressure.
no, it's
I
not a
honestly
lot of
feel like,
pressure.
like
Yeah.
I feel like it's a timing thing. I've had people ask us like, "Oh, how come you're not married? You're not engaged, you don't have kids?" And my response is always, "Look, everyone has their timeline and we've been very focused on establishing ourselves first and we have no judgment or we don't really feel any sort of way towards people who want to start earlier, but it is
Yeah.
coming. So
Yeah. And
thank you for the call
I
outs.
would say, like, obviously if we're gonna go back into, like, yes, we've been together for 8 years, we're going
Yeah.
on 9. And when we first started dating, I think we made it pretty clear on, like, our own timeline, even from then. I
Yep.
mean, we started dating pretty young, I'd
Yeah.
say. And I
I
know that there's
was.
people that are already married before us, but like we made it pretty clear like what our timeline would be and what that's gonna look like for us. So I mean that's a big thing. And then we cleared that out like right away. So
Yeah.
going on 9 years, and then we met in college,
Mm-hmm.
like we
See,
mentioned.
son.
CSUN. We both studied kinesiology, so exercise science. That's how we like basically. I think a lot of our values click there
Yeah,
for
just
sure.
already right off the bat, just you being physically active and believing
Yeah,
in a healthy
yeah,
lifestyle, and same thing here.
yeah,
That's already going to be one thing that we
yeah.
align with.
So we definitely have the story of like the in-person story of like
Yep.
meeting at a college party, and then like mutual friends and all that good stuff, which we'll get into another episode. But um, yeah, so that's like the gist of that. And then I don't know. Is there anything else we want to add for like intro of
Uh,
just getting to know us? If let's say this is like people's first time meeting us
if it's
on
people's
here.
first time, I mean, no, it's pretty, we addressed everything. I mean, again, we met in
Yeah.
college party. We were in internships together. So we'd
Yeah.
bump into each other. There would be mutual gatherings where we'd see each other.
Yeah.
And then just over time, we
It's been.
developed feelings and, it honestly flowed pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we
I
just
mean, I
started.
guess I could like without doing the whole detail of like every single thing of like how we met right now, because that's a whole long story. As we know, it'd
Yep.
be like a 3 hour story if
Yep.
we went to every single detail. So let us know if you want that. But that's a pretty long story. But without throwing anyone under the bus or anything. Um, Not that anything is bad. I'm just saying it's a long story. It could be like a K drama if we really wanted
Yeah,
it
if
to
you
be.
wanted to spice it up that way.
But anyway, so like we initially when we met, we didn't like get together right away. I want to say we reconnected maybe
After, yeah,
a year
2017,
later,
yeah.
and then we officially started dating, and then that's when it like flowed and
Mm-hmm.
it got like serious and
Yeah.
everything like that. So it was definitely a journey, but now we're almost 9 years out and we're here doing this together.
We're
So it's been
here
fun.
and we've made it. Definitely not all smooth sailings all the time, but I
No.
think that's what's made uh the relationship beautiful is we've been able to grow together. We've been able to challenge ourselves and our own
Yeah.
beliefs. I know I've been able to put my ego at the door, whereas before I wouldn't. So
Yeah.
I've definitely matured and grown a lot in that way.
Yeah.
But I think this is where it kind of leads to the
I think that's
question.
perfect like segue into
Yeah.
the question that we get very often actually, and we actually have gotten recently too,
Yep.
is, and especially hitting our 8 years this year, is how have you navigated being together for 8 years, and like what maybe are some challenges we've gone through, and like how do we navigate that together, because obviously it's a long time. I know you had something to say about people asking like, oh, did it get tiring at one point, etc.,
Yeah,
etc.
I've had like either friends or I started a new job a couple months ago and I've been like opening up with coworkers just like everyone does. Like you're working new somewhere, they want to get to know you a little bit outside of work as well. I think everyone at work does that. Like, oh, what
Yeah,
do you do for
even
fun?
close friends have asked us too.
Yeah, but
So
like one of the questions I've been getting a lot, and I'm sure you have as well, is, how have you been able to keep the spark going? Or when you get into an argument, like how do you guys come out of that? And what I tell all my coworkers, friends is first of all, just transparency, just being, and as hard as it is, and as much as maybe you don't want things to sound the way that they do, just be transparent. I'm not saying don't be respectful, like still keep it respectful, think your thoughts through, communicating and just being open to new things. So for me, the biggest thing I had to do was just leave my ego at the door, understand that I'm not going to be right every time. I am human. I do make mistakes. And the good thing is that I own up to my mistakes. And I've just learned to understand also how Ariel communicates and what I need to do to also serve her and just other things where I'm like, okay, if it's this time of month, be aware, do this, do that, just understand like the different energy levels. Cause, again, the male and feminine is going to be very different. So just understanding more of her, that's definitely what's kind of helped us progress throughout the 8 years, and just being super transparent with each other, even through the tough times. I think
Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean,
helped
I,
us.
I think what I tell everyone when they ask is like, it's kind of funny now that I'm just like, this is like mirroring it because I always tell people, or how do you navigate things where you don't agree with things or you have arguments
Mm-hmm.
or disagreements, and I always tell people we literally sit like we're in therapy, and we just like sit on the couch, face each other,
Just like
and just
this.
talk it out.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because this is literal the
This
image,
is literally what we're
and
doing.
it
Yeah.
was hard. I want to say it's gotten better over the past
Oh
eight
yeah.
years. I remember in the beginning, especially for me, it was. I remember taking a long time to communicate my feelings and understand what I was even feeling sometimes. So sometimes it would literally take me 10 minutes to be like, hold on, I'm crying and I need to figure out what I
Yeah.
need to tell you,
I
and I
remember.
need to process my emotions before I even communicate
Verbalize
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I remember I think that was the big thing too. Is like you gave me that space. I remember you specifically. I remember having like really tough conversation about something. Like I don't even remember exactly what it was anymore. Maybe when we first started dating, I want to say the first year or something like that. And we were sitting at your parents' house, and like we had I think two of the red couches or something, and we literally sat in front of each other and like we're like talking, and then I was crying and I couldn't verbalize what I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
say. And then you'd be like, it's okay, take your time, and you'd literally sit there for 5 minutes in silence while I'm like
Yeah. And over and you know what, over
so
the years, I'd say that's one part of you that's like you've grown. Not that it's bad to sit there in silence, but you've been able to, over the years, process those emotions a lot quicker, not just for me, but also for yourself. But that just shows to your intuition and to your growth what you've been able to put in to like be able to, okay, if I'm not feeling something, what is the way that I'm feeling? And that
yeah.
just shows that you know yourself more and you know how to communicate what it is that you're really processing.
And I really think, I mean, that's something that in that question, like how have we navigated being together for 8 years? I think a big part of it, kind of like you were saying, you learn to let your ego down and
Yep.
things like that. I think a big part of it, and I think we really learned this in the last, I want to say 3 years or 4 years of recently, like that we're also growing individually
Yep.
alongside growing together. And that I think for me that was the hardest part to navigate, is understanding, like I remember like the biggest thing that we had to figure out is like, okay, we're growing individually and like now
Yeah.
how do we intertwine this together so that it works, because obviously we weren't the same people 8 years ago when we first met, when we were,
Yeah.
I know what 20, well how old was it, I was before legal drinking age actually.
Yeah, you were,
I
I
was
think I
like,
was maybe 23, 24, and it's like,
was I 19 still when we first got together?
I think
Or
so.
like when we first started dating?
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere around that time, it's like and
Because
that's
I
the
do
funny thing.
remember,
It's
yeah.
like the longer you start dating, it's like, so when did you, or what age? But it's like
Yeah,
it was different. I mean, like you were
yeah.
living at home with your parents, I
You
was
were too,
too.
yeah.
But like even the transition during COVID, like we
Oh yeah,
were
we were
literally
quarantined
we were
together.
quarantined together. That was like making it through that, to be
Well,
honest with
we were
you.
quarantined together, and it was our first time moving out
Just
individually, and it was our
and also together.
first time moving out together and
it
moving
was
in
it
together.
was big. Like now that I say that, I'm like, you know what? The fact that we were able to survive the pandemic and come out on the other side in a positive
Yeah,
way, that's big. Because
yeah.
and again, this is not to knock any other relationships, but we've heard of like
It's yeah,
people got divorced because of
yeah.
COVID, like
The divorce
relationships
rates
fell
did go up.
apart, like
Yeah.
divorce rates did go up. Again, these are all statistics that
Yeah, I could
you
probably
guys
look it
can
up.
check. We're not
Yeah.
just making this stuff
Yeah,
up, but
yeah.
literally I've heard from so many people how being with their partner all day, it
Mm.
really
Hmm.
ruined their
It's like
marriage
a
and the
make or break. It was a
relationship.
make or break
But
thing. Yeah.
that in my eyes is so sad to hear, because it's like you get engaged, you get married, whether you have kids or not is a personal choice. But when you're marrying someone, it's like you hopefully want to spend the rest of your life with them.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully you do. And if you don't, then that's totally fine. I think that's a issue people need to resolve themselves. But that's the thing. It's like because of COVID or because you spend more time with them, you think you're gonna get closer, but it's the opposite effect.
You
And
get the
it's
icks
like
of
you
certain
get the
things,
icks of
yeah.
people because you maybe see too much of them or you see
Mm-hmm,
certain sides that you don't want to see.
mm-hmm.
And it's like you start to resent them and you're like, oh, this and oh, that. But,
And I
and
would say, like, again, that goes with the individual growth because it's yes, you see the icks of people, but then I think you forget to look within yourself and ask yourself, because I think that's something for me that I learned in our 8 years of is healing the parts of me that felt
mm-hmm.
insecure from maybe previous relationships or generational traumas
Yeah,
or something that maybe wasn't me, and then not putting that resentment on you kind of thing.
right.
So I think yes, like of course, like doing that inner work on top of doing that together work. Because I mean, we're not gonna
Yeah.
lie, like we literally in the 8 years we've had rough moments where we actually did couples therapy together, which is
Yeah, we did.
it's a beautiful thing though.
In
We learned a lot.
2023, we literally did 8 sessions. And to put it in perspective, it came out to 8 hours.
Yeah.
So in 8 hours, which is basically, to put it in perspective, a full work day,
Hmm.
we were able to go speak with our therapist, and she was great.
Yeah, I
Like
would
I
go back
love
to her
Kimberly.
anyway. Yeah.
Kimberly is great. She's
Yeah.
awesome.
I would go back to her for sure.
She helped us a lot, and she's not judgmental at all. She got to know what I love about her approach is she got to know us both individually and also
Yeah.
like our trigger points and our past.
Yeah.
And she gave us like homework, and I'll never forget times where we would like have arguments. I'd be like, okay,
What did
I'm
Kimberly
gonna like, what did
say?
Kimberly say? What was the homework that you gave us? But it's like that's when you know you're actually utilizing the tools of therapy. Because
Yeah.
if you're just gonna go to therapy, but you're not gonna utilize the homework and the exercises and the actionable items that you need to do, therapy is not gonna work. Like that's
Yeah.
gonna be another crutch that you say you're going to, but if you're not utilizing it outside of there, that's where I think people lead to, again, the divorce, the breakups, which sucks because if you just use those tools, I'm not saying 100% you'll do it, but at least you gave it a shot.
Yeah, and I want to preface though too, like I don't think you need to get to that breaking point or wait till it gets bad to utilize
Definitely not.
therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, we just did it because I think at one point I remember we were going over the same issues over and over again
Like
and we couldn't
every
resolve it
weekend.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, especially I want to say I'm going to say this about therapy in general. Obviously, like I think therapy is so powerful
It is.
for before you even have a breaking point, right? Like I think you should go to therapy just to go to therapy, right? Because it's
It's good
like
to go
it's
even
good
before
personal
you have the
development.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know as a couple, it depends on the couple, right? I think it's a little more challenging because both couples have to be open to it
Yep, they do.
and they both have to be like, okay, yeah, you're right. Like we need to go to therapy. We need a mediator. We need tools. We need resources or whatever it is. Because not every some couples are gonna be like, oh no, we don't need therapy, right? So I do have to preface that like we're both at this point. I think we were so tired of like trying to figure it out ourselves
Mm-hmm.
that we were like, okay, we just need like I think we actually just need to go to someone to help us
Yeah,
out.
and I'm glad we did because like look, I'm gonna be super transparent. Like insurance did not cover it. Like
Yeah.
the insurance I had and the insurance that Ariel had did not cover the
I don't even
therapy.
remember.
So it was not
Oh yeah,
cheap.
I
It
did
was
not
like it
down.
was like
Yeah.
$250 a session. But let me
Yeah.
tell you, like a lot of people would say, oh well, that's a waste of money. Why would you do it? Just break up, make it easier. And it's like that's the thing.
Or figure it out
The
yourselves.
the the easier thing is to just break off the relationship and say, okay, well, we're just not going to do it. Or it's like, look, you could invest that money, and I get that 250 is not cheap for an hour. It's definitely not. But I'm glad that we did it because now we're sitting here and we can share with you all the hey, it is worth the money
Yeah.
if you see it as an investment.
That's
But
with
you
everything,
need to
right?
want it. And it's the same thing with everything, but
Yeah.
like we both agreed. And like again, the other argument is, oh, well, just work on it yourselves. But it's
Well,
like when you try to work on something for 2 years,
mm,
and every weekend, I'll never forget, it would be like
yeah, same
us laying on this couch
conversation.
in our old apartment.
Yeah,
I'd be laying down and Ariel would be crying, and then
yeah.
I'd be like, okay, well, now we're having the same issue 2 weeks later.
And
It's
then I would
like,
cry again, and then go upstairs, and then be more mad still
and
because
then
nothing
I'd
happened.
and then I'd be on the couch, and then it was like
Yeah,
literally, I
yeah.
think it was every week for like a couple years. It was almost
So
every week or
maybe something
every
like that,
other
or
week for
like
like
for
a
a
couple
couple. Was
years.
it a couple
It
years?
was a couple years. It
Yeah.
was pretty rough. It was like from 2021 up until 2023, and 2023 was a breaking point in the best way for us. I think
Yeah,
coming out of
yeah,
therapy, using a lot of those lessons, it helped us get to where we are today.
for
And
sure.
really just getting to learn about our love languages, what really
Oh, that's
serves
right.
us,
That's
like
right.
reading that book with you.
Yeah. I mean, that was outside of therapy for sure. So I guess if we're gonna go back to the question, like how to navigate being together for 8 years, I think I know we talk about this a lot, and this brought it up because you mentioned the book,
Right.
the five love languages, is constantly being open to growing together.
Yep.
I think, and I think we talk about this a lot, not just like in the sense of personal development or like we said inner work, but just like having fun, like doing new things that maybe break the comfort zone a little bit. Like I think there was a year where, of course, like this was already post pandemic, but we still got comfortable. And I remember we were, and there was nothing wrong with this. Like I'm not saying anything's wrong with this. We were watching Netflix, binging Netflix like every weekend. We would just watch movies, we'd watch shows, we'd finish like shows, and that's really all we would do. I think we just eat food and watch shows like every single weekend. And I'm not saying that's bad. I had fun.
It was a lot of
And
fun, but
but like I think after some time we're like you get into that, I know everyone says that roommate, like that roommate phase, or that like especially if you're living together,
yeah.
that comfortable just like, oh, you're just an old married couple, which I'm kind of like, first of all, even when you get married, like you got to spark things up and have
Yeah,
fun.
you still gotta
Obviously
have
we'll
fun. You
get there
gotta
when we
enjoy.
get there, but I think that was a big thing for us where we're like, well, we've always been talking about personal growth and, you know, exploring and things like that. Why don't we do that? So I think that was one thing. Like, so I think reading the book was a big thing for
It was
us.
huge.
And then now, I mean, like, this is really new. Like, we're actually
Yeah.
putting this into fruition, I think.
Yeah, and I think we've been talking about this for years. And to be honest with you, the number one thing that was missing was, I know for me personally, getting out of my head that like I'm tired after
Okay.
work, I
Yeah,
don't
right.
have time for things. But to be honest with you, I was previously in a career, as many of you know, that just wasn't serving me, and it was actually sucking energy away.
Mm-hmm.
Where now I'm in a different career where I love it, I still have fun, I get to do what I'm doing. But then when I come home, I get to work with my partner on this amazing project and adventure, and we get to really dive in, and I have energy now.
Yeah.
And it's almost
Yeah.
9 o'clock at night, and I feel
That's
amazing.
nice.
So I think another thing that's helped us really be together for 8 years is also taking care of myself. Because the
Yes.
more I was
Yeah.
able to take care of myself, like get a new career, put my health first
Mm-hmm.
again,
Mm-hmm.
and really do what serves me, that entail brings out the best version of me so
Absolutely.
that I
Yeah.
can support you. I can really be here for you. Because before, I would not be present
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for
Oh,
her,
that's right.
for our
Yeah.
relationship. Like
Yeah.
I'd be there, but I wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I'd hear things, but I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then like
Mm-hmm.
I'd commit to things and back out. And my excuse was always, oh, I'm tired. I had a rough week. Or like, oh, a client meeting came up. Or, oh, I have to go to this event. Or, oh, I have to do this. And it's like, now I have that boundary. I take care of myself. Kitty's got a little surprise there. It's okay.
I don't know if the mic heard that, but there
Yeah,
was a
there was a
fly that died.
there was
I
a fly
think.
that went into our little buzz zapper
Zapper.
thing in the kitchen. But overall, I think what's helped us be together for 8 years as well is learn that for me, if I take care of myself first, which is usually in the morning, I get in some yoga, I get in my workout, I can now serve my family,
Mm-hmm.
which is you, Melly, and Nalu.
And your
And in the
family.
future, my family as well. But
And
then
like
I can
even our
also
other
be
family,
there
yeah.
for my friends. Like
Yeah.
now when a friend reaches out, if they need to talk, or when I go hang out with friends, I can actually be present because I know
Yeah.
that, hey, I did something to serve myself in the morning.
Yeah.
Like,
So I mean, I mean it's very true. I think it's just setting the boundaries for yourself. Like I think a big thing for me, and that kind of goes off of like, oh hey hey
oh,
hey hey,
hi, love. We're not
she's
gonna be.
eating the phone charger.
Hi, love.
All
Okay.
right. Uh,
Now they're still here
yeah.
with
No, this
us.
is like all right. I'm still napping.
Melly's a little bit more independent. She likes to just do her own thing and kind of just go off, which is fine. I love that about her.
She likes her cuddles sometimes, and then she likes to be
Yeah.
going
Nala's
her
more
own
of the
way.
cuddler.
Nala loves to hang out with us.
Oh,
But anyway, I think back to kind of, I think a big thing in terms of you're saying like taking care of yourself while being in the relationship. And I think that's something that I'm continuing to learn as well is just, continue to date yourself while
Yep.
you date your partner.
Yeah. And
because obviously like the more you take care of yourself, the more you serve your own needs, that will reflect back in your partner, and it will show your partner almost like, okay, like, well, you're treating yourself well,
yeah.
like I need to treat her well too, or
Yeah.
if I'm not treating myself well, like how do you expect my partner to reciprocate that, care and love? Because again, I think you're always a mirror of one another. And I was
Yeah.
actually just telling one of our best friends, Priyanka, and I think I've told Angelica too, shout out to y'all, uh, is that pretty much like we get to like, individually love ourselves too. And
Absolutely.
we've always said this when we first started dating actually, is like we don't complete each other. We're not like each other's best halves. We're actually our own individual, amazing, magnificent self, and we get to add to one another's, talents, skills, happiness, love. Like we're not, you know,
We're not dependent on
yeah,
each other. Like
exactly.
I always told people, and this is not a knock on Ariel or our relationship, but I was happy before we were
Yeah,
together
yeah,
and I'm still
same.
happy now. So it's not like I was miserable and then she
And
came and she changed my life. And this is what we always talked about is let's always make sure that we continue to help each other grow, but we're not dependent. Because then when you have that dependency, it's almost like a crutch.
yeah,
It's like you
yeah,
have that crutch, and then the second you take the crutches away, you don't know how to survive without that
right,
person.
right, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Build
yeah,
for yourself, and
yeah.
then
Be
the
like
other will also,
be happy being single, be
yeah,
happy being in a relationship, and know that the relationship can help you grow, but that you also grow on your own time. Because
yeah,
again, we're not always with each other 24/7. So
yeah, yeah,
you know,
exactly.
having the growth mindset's also huge because again, if one person's very growth mindset and the other person isn't, maybe not right away, but over time you'll see it. And then
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
two things will happen. Either that person will come down or that other person will come up. There's never that in between. It's
yeah.
always one compromise over the other, I feel.
I think a big thing is definitely, you said like have a growth mindset. So I mean, support each other in that growth. But I think the biggest thing too, especially, I'm gonna say this, especially because I know that there's people who ask us this question almost like, and same question, but like if they're single or looking for a relationship or like
Yeah,
not there yet or they haven't found their partner. I think a big thing that I always tell them, especially with like the growth mindset stuff, is like find the core values right off the bat. Like
that's a big one.
knock
Yeah.
that off the park, because like if I mean hopefully, like the end goal is to get married and be together forever and like have a healthy relationship and things like that.
Hopefully that's the end
Hopefully
goal.
that's the end goal.
Hopefully.
Some people like to be like, like
Which is
the what is
fine.
it? I think it's like the Renaissance or like the
Well, you want to just date around your whole
yeah,
life, which
yeah.
is
Which
fine.
is
I don't think
fine.
there's
That's what I'm
anything
saying.
wrong with that.
Exactly. There's
But I
nothing
think
wrong with
just
that.
address that early on.
Exactly. And I think getting the big core values in the beginning, like even when you first start dating, as
It's
much as like
big.
that's a scary like thing to talk about, and all people are like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what transparency is. but,
I had a
but I think
conversation.
transparency is like
Yeah.
the biggest thing off the bat, because I remember even like 3 months, I think, in while we're dating, I remember,
We went to Stunt Road, didn't
or we
we?
were
It
somewhere
was
where
near
there was
Stunt Road.
beautiful like
Yeah.
houses, and I go, we're like just driving, and I go, how many bedrooms would you want for our kids? And I was like, oh my god, I just said that, and we like literally just started dating like last month, or like we just had like I think it was like 4 dates in actually. It wasn't even three
It was
months.
not even 3 months in. It
It was
was like four
not. It was
dates
like
in.
four
Yeah.
dates in, and I said that, and it slipped just because I was looking at the houses, and then like I did see him as a long term relationship, and so I remember that slipped, and I was like, oh, sorry, is that too soon? And he goes, no, it's fine. That's not too soon. And he answered my question, and so I think answering those big, daunting questions in the
Yeah.
beginning will allow you to save your time and energy.
It's honestly big. I was gonna say
Yeah.
that actually I was talking to coworkers. Like literally we had a little break at work and coworkers are gonna bump into each other and you start
Yeah.
working. So we had like a little hallway break is what I like to call it. And I
Like,
was telling her
school.
like my biggest thing, and this is what I told her, is like have the hard conversations on the first few dates.
Yeah,
Like I think
I think
within
so
the
too.
first 2 to 3 dates, maybe not the first one,
Yeah, not the
but
first
if you're
one.
going to continue seeing the same person for a
Yeah.
series of dates, I'd say by date 2 or 3, you ideally want to knock it out of the park in terms of like, look, are you here just to play? Are you here to be
Yeah, I
serious? Like,
agree.
do you want to get married? Is this something you value? Do you want kids? Because again, if someone wants to get married and the other doesn't, that's already going to be a red flag.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If one person is gung ho about kids and the other person is like, I want to be no kids and travel and like, I hate kids. It's like, okay, well, it's better to know that early on.
Yeah.
Whereas the other scenario is, hey, now we date 3 to 4 years in, the families get
And
to know
it's
each
like,
other,
yeah.
everyone loves each other, and it's like, oh, we broke up. And it's like,
Yeah.
why? Oh, well, I wanted to get married and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then the common reaction is, so did you guys not talk about this
Mm-hmm.
before? And it's like, well, no, we didn't want to have the tough conversation. So I told my coworker, because she was explaining to me about her dating journey, is just like, look, like what I would recommend you do. And again, I always give recommendations. I never tell people
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to
This
do
is,
it. It's more of just like, look, this is my 2 cents. If
yeah.
you want to take it, take it. If not, then hey, all the best to
Just like
you.
everything we say here.
Yeah, exactly. So you just take it as a recommendation. But what I told her is, look, those hard conversations don't also have to be an interrogation. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people see it as torture, where I'm like, look, it's not like you're in an FBI interrogation room and you're sitting across and you have that like the non see-through like mirror that like other people are there watching.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're
look, it doesn't have
shining
to
a
be that.
flashlight in their eyes.
You can go on a walk and talk about it. Go to your favorite coffee shop, go to a nice restaurant. I'm not saying you need to go spend hundreds of dollars at this
Yeah.
restaurant, but like go out on a date and make it fun, because again, dating is supposed to be fun. I
Yeah.
think nowadays people have turned it into an interrogation where they feel more
Maybe.
threatened. Like they feel more threatened by going on dates because they feel judged, where it's like, hey, let's just put the judgment aside.
Yeah.
Let's really just get to know each other and let's even see if this is worth pursuing. Because if it is worth pursuing, well, great, let's make that agreement.
Also, correct us if we're wrong, because it's been 8 years since we've been in the dating field, so I don't know. But I personally believe that it doesn't have to be that as hard as we make it or complicated as we make it, in terms of communication.
Yeah, you
But
guys let us
you
know.
let us know in the comments and our DMs, whatever. But this is like, I think we'll slowly start ending it here, because I know we've been like going off a
Yeah.
lot of good
Yeah,
topics, which
yeah,
I
this
love.
has been a good flow.
But I would say, like we said, transparency, just communicate, because at the end of the day, like, if you're really serious, like, why you're just gonna waste your own time if you're not, like, you don't want to like speak
Do you mind if
upon
I
these
add one thing
things.
in?
I'm gonna add one thing too after
Okay.
this, but I think at the end of the day too, like, you are almost a reflection of what you attract.
Yeah.
So the more that you are clear about what you want in a relationship, the more that you're clear about yourself and your boundaries and your core values, then you'll hopefully attract someone in that realm, right? But I think at the end of the day too, you can't force it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can't force it. I think the other thing is with all of these things we're putting in, like going to therapy, doing the homework, I think the biggest thing is like also putting in the action. So if you're in a relationship and you're having troubles, like put the work in together to fix it. Or if you're single and you're seeking a life partner, someone that you just see yourself for a longer time, I would say put in the action on the dates to date people who are, again, more aligned. So I'm not saying be super picky with who you date, like you should have a criteria, but narrow that criteria down to see really who's going to be those key players that are going to make your team.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing, is also putting in the action, because that's what a relationship is. You can talk about you want to do this, you want to accomplish that, but until you actually put in the work, again, that's where we were having the struggles, is we would say we're going to make these changes, and I was making a lot of promises that I wasn't fulfilling. And I'm like, okay, Ryan, you're saying all these things that sound great, but it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to actually put in the work and actually deliver on your promise. And that's something I wasn't doing. And I'm very open about saying that, like, 2023 was not my hottest, or like even
I think it
prior
was
to that,
before
like
that. 23
2021,
was like 23
2023 is when we like
was
solve things, but
like the let's solve this is because
yeah,
we're either gonna like keep it going or break up. Like that was literally
pretty
the year
much
of like
it was a make or break. It was kind of
I think it was
like,
like 22, 23 was like the all right, we're gonna keep this up like or not.
because
Like
we were both kind of miserable at that point. It was like,
I think we were just trying to figure. It was like we called it our awkward year or something
it
like
was a
that.
pretty awkward year, but
It was like us trying to figure it out. But again, I think taking action together is one thing, and then taking action individually.
yep,
Whether you're single, whether you are dating, whether you are married, right? Because I feel like
yep.
individually is something that is not seen, especially when you're like, because it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm in a relationship. Like, it's their fault. It's your fault for being XYZ, right? Like,
That's the,
and,
yeah,
and, but then I'm like, okay, well, maybe what am I, I'm not saying like play the victim, right? But I am saying reflect on like, okay, like, what do I need to work on in myself? Because that's something I had to do is like, why am I perceiving maybe his words this way? Or why am I, so there's obviously a lot of deep work that comes with like therapy individually as well for that. And like really navigating the way that you communicate, the way that you perceive things, the way that you are like, you know, understanding things individually and together. So I think it's very powerful. Yes, take action is a big thing,
yep,
but on a collective level and on an individual level.
yeah. No,
But
that's
I
big.
think it's a good place to kind of end it. You want to
Yeah,
kind of like summarize maybe a few of the points that we went to for like just like navigating being together or just
yeah.
like if
I
someone's looking
think
for a
number one
relationship.
thing is going to be transparency. I
Mm-hmm.
think communication.
Mm-hmm.
I think also having fun. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people like have
Fun,
fun.
grow together, get out of your comfort zone a
Yeah,
little
get out of your
bit.
comfort zone. Like, make it fun. Again, it doesn't have to be torture. Like, the whole point of having a partner is like grow together, have fun. Like, life is supposed to be fun,
Yeah.
because as we all know, life is very short. We all have a limited amount of time here. So it's good to work hard and hustle and all that kind of stuff, but enjoy your partner. Take those trips, do those challenges, have those tough conversations, but make them fun. Make it in a way where both of you benefit from it and you still enjoy life. And also action. Those are kind of my top kind of three, four: communication, transparency, fun, and action. That's
Love
what I
it.
would say it is for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And if you do those things, and again, for everyone, it's going to be different, but those are kind of my
I
top
love
key
that.
ones.
I
Yeah.
mean, from like our
Yeah.
ages, from
From
what you've
ours.
taken away.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say transparency and communication kind of like go together hand in hand. And then fun and growth, like growth is a big
Yeah.
thing
Growth is
too. I
big.
think like I think it goes with it, right? Like because when you're having fun with things, you're also trying new things. So having fun and growing together individually and together at the same time. And then what was the other one that you actually mentioned?
Action.
Oh yeah,
Just
taking
taking action.
action.
Yeah.
I think inner work. That's a big one for me.
There's a lot,
I
to
think
be
inner
honest
work.
with you.
But I
Yeah.
think those are the ones that I would say like how have we navigated? It's definitely been a lot, but
Those are the core
those are the
principles, I
core
think.
ones
Yeah.
that we've, I guess, learned in these 8 years. And I know as we continue to go on, we will probably revisit it maybe another 8 years from now, and maybe we gain more wisdom because we will. But that's just coming from our mindset, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And
so yeah.
honestly, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm looking forward to continue
Yeah.
growing with you.
No, it's gonna be great. Like I think I love that we're doing this. I think it's also like cool
It's
that we
been
get to kind of
fun.
reflect on maybe things that we have gone through, and I know we're gonna continue
Absolutely.
to.
Oh,
So it'll
yeah.
be a lot of fun
No. It's been
going
fun.
through that. Going back to our having fun. I would say also like you're just like they should be your best friend. It should feel natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because again, if you're not going to have fun, if they're not your best friend, then, maybe take some time to think why.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
explore why they aren't. And
Yeah.
if there's a disconnection, then I would
Ooh,
encourage you what?
last thing I'm gonna add, I just remembered because it's something that I learned in our, especially during our like slump,
Mm-hmm.
is especially going back to that like when we were together in like 2017 when we first
Yes.
started dating, when we were 19 and
22?
22
No, we were
years
older. I
old,
think you were 20 and I was 23.
something
Something
like
like that.
that.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah, that is. 'Cause that's
something like
8
that.
years.
Yeah,
It's eight
you're right
years.
because I'm
I'm
28.
31. There we
Duh.
go. We did the
Well,
math, guys.
easy math.
Easy.
Uh, is something I know we both learned together in 8 years, and I know it's gonna continue to happen. Is that like we weren't the same people that we were there? So accepting that like maybe the spark, and I know we learned this in the book actually, the spark isn't gonna look the same as it did when you were dating 3 months in your first 3 months versus what it's going to look like in the 8 years.
Spark is going to
It's going to
change.
change, and it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means you have to continue to understand your partner and how they like receive love and like how they feel
Yep.
loved and all that good stuff. So I think just constantly communicating again, that
Communication.
communication
Yep.
of what makes you feel loved, what makes you feel safe, what makes
What's
you
your
feel
love language?
exactly, what's your love language, what is fun for you even.
Yep.
Right, because it might not look like you did when you were 19 or 20
Yeah.
versus where you are now when you're 28, right? So
yeah, it's different.
so I
Things
think
change.
just communicating that and understanding that. So yeah.
All right.
But thanks for listening
Absolutely.
to this first of many
episodes.
Real Talk with Ryiel, and
thank you all for joining.
we'll catch you next time.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.